You haven't missed anything. To demonstrate that, we'll begin from the beginning. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Huh? So, we have the person who is qualified to study this Upanishad is drastically a different kind of a person than a person who is qualified to do various rituals. The rituals, for qualifying to do the rituals, the person should be Ragi and Dveshi. Ragi? What is Ragi? A nutritionist, nutritional, whatever. Ragi is a millet. No, not that kind of Ragi. Full of Raga, Ragi. Full of Dvesha, Dveshi. Really, that is who the first portion of the Veda caters to. A Ragi and a Dveshi. The one subject to Raga and Dvesha. The one who is constantly succumbing to Raga, Dvesha, and the various array, the smorgasbord of dishes or the rituals that are dished out for the sake of this person to maintain the Raga Dvesha, to fulfill the Raga Dvesha, to keep things at bay. What is that? To keep disease, old age, perhaps death, little bit at bay. Dvesha, things which I don't want. And then things which I want to kind of keep, having. Even though, as we said, it's a uncertain draft to still keep having. This is the first portion of the Veda. So what is the Vishaya here? What is the subject matter? Vishaya, subject matter. What is the Vishaya? In the first portion of the Veda we already said. Fulfillment of what? Anitya. And to put it in eloquent Sanskrit, apraptasya prapanam. Apraptasya praptihi, which we also defined as yoga in another context. Yeah. In other words, bhoga is yoga for whom? That is the first portion of the Vedas. Apraptasya praptihi. Vishaya, the subject matter of the first portion of the Veda. And what is the second portion of the Veda? Huh? What is the subject matter?
Discovering what happens.
Yeah. Discovering means it's already there, correct? So what is the prapti? Praptasya praptihi. Look at the difference. How elegant. Look at this beautiful setup. Apraptasya praptihi, subject matter of the first portion of the Veda. Praptasya praptihi, the gain of that which is already gained, but unknown, undiscovered, unstudied, unlettered to the spelling of my own name. A for Atma, I don't know. That is the beauty. So the gain of which that is yet to be gained, first portion of the Veda. And the gain of that which is already gained, second portion of the Veda. And who is the audience? We already said, unhappy samsari. But here the unhappy samsari wants to wrinkle out. Who is the Ragi, Dveshi, wants to wrinkle out the wrinkles from samsara and wants to keep the status quo going. The Ragi, Dveshi is the Adhikari in the first portion of the Veda. And whereas in the second portion of the Veda, who is the Adhikari? Mundaka. I already told you. Shirovratam yaihi chirnam. Chirnam means performed. The ones who had, that symbolizes the seriousness. This ritual symbolizes the seriousness. Shaving of the head is a serious matter, correct? Yeah. Not everybody does it. I mean, we are not looking at the punk culture, mohawks and all that. We're not looking at that. But we're not looking at a rebellion or a fashion statement. We are looking at a revolution which is turning away from samsara and all that it symbolizes. So the head and the hair symbolize so many desires. And then what is the beauty of the desires? You shave them and they come back. By the time you are back from the barber, you already have the hair coming back. It grows as you walk, you know. And, and so it's the metaphor for desires. And so the head shaving shows a commitment to repeatedly deal with the new crop of desires. That's what it is. And so that is why it is a sannyasi lakshana. Lakshana means what? A sign. Sign of a sannyasi. And then the ritual also, it's like shows the urgency of the pursuit here. So in the adhikari here, the one to whom the second portion of the Veda, the Upanishad, this particular Upanishad is directed towards, has an urgency of the pursuit. What is the urgency of the pursuit? You know, it is symbolized by the newly shorn head carrying a basket of live coals. Is the person stopping to have chai around while circumambulating the ashram? Oh, here is a big, canister of chai kept. In ashrams, it's frequently kept like that. And then they ring the bell and go away. You can go and, fill your glass. And so this person, just imagine the thought of this person, with a basket of live coals, fire dripping down literally, all sides. Says, oh, that chai looks good. I think I'm going to stop to have a little chai from the canister and turns on the tap. Or stops to chat with someone, smells some flowers along the way, take a tour of the bucolic areas of the ashram. Bucolic areas where the cows are kept, of course. And look at the newly born calf. Oh, how cute. Oh, yeah, by the way, this is little, burning. Now I think I'll go. No time for all that. And neither is the person strolling and chatting with the other person. No. The person is running because I have to finish this in a hurry, because not just the hair, because there is no hair. The head is on fire. Yeah. If the hair is on fire, you still don't stop at a cafe before you attend to it. But when the head is on fire, there is no elbow room for anything. No room. No room at all. That is the urgency of the pursuit. And that is what is sannyasi lakshana. Sannyasa means it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal to give up everything. Big deal. I gave this up, I gave that up, I gave this up. Okay. Fir kya? Then I sat down and I'm holding on to all the grudges, because that's one thing I cannot give up. Giving up is not the point. The point is, for what sake have you given up? That is the point. And that for which sake you have given up. And what is the sake for which you have given up everything in the break? Huh? For knowledge. Yeah. Sannyasi is jnana lakshana. The pursuit of knowledge, because by karma, the only thing I can produce by infinite action is an infinite headache. That's all. It's a migraine. That's all it is. Then I wish it was somebody else's grain, because I have to deal with it all this time. So that's the only thing. So knowing this is the difference in the adhikari, is the one who has crossed over to this class. So the one that has crossed over to the second portion is what? Is the person who is committed to knowledge, because the head is on fire. Then of course the very important question arises, what am I going to get out of this knowledge? What is this crossing of the hands?
Defensive.
Purva Pakshi pose. Yeah, this is the pose of the Purva Pakshi who is defensive. Actually, they are offensive. And so, defensive. And what does the defensive? All right. So, and what does the defensive Purva Pakshi say? Do. The Purva Pakshi is closed to listening to reason. This is the defensive posture, the offensive posture. Unless, of course, it is adopted by great ones like Swami Vivekananda. We are not talking of that. There it was a relaxed posture. But here we are talking of the Purva Pakshi. The person full of objections. When? All the time. And is it a person outside? Yes, frequently. But even more frequently, the Purva Pakshi occurs within. Yeah. Comes and goes, comes and goes, comes and goes. You biff them with a nice argument and then comes and goes. You know, in the 70s there was this toy. And it had this kind of a, what is that when you go bowling, that shape? What is that called? Pin, bowling pin shape. It was made, it was made of this balloon, like a balloon. And it was filled with sand around, bottom was round, filled with sand. The rest of it was hollow. And it had a nose, and you biff the nose, it falls down because it's filled with air and the sand, mechanics of the sand, what happens? Comes right up, and then you biff it again, goes down, comes up, goes down, comes up. And this Purva Pakshi wants to know, what am I going to get out of this? Yeah. Matlab ki baat karo. What is this? What am I going to get? And so, whether we are talking of the first portion of the Veda or whether we are talking of the last portion of the Veda called Vedanta, there is still a use, correct? What is the prayojana in the first portion of the Veda? What is there? What is the use?
Gaining desires.
Time bound gains. Status quo is the use. Time bound gains. Don't rock the boat of samsara. And time bound gains. And ends that are within samsara only can be reached. Whereas here it is the gain of that which is already gained. We already saw that is the subject matter. And the prayojana is what? Brahmavit brahmaiva bhavati. The knower of Brahman, even though it translates as becomes, is Brahman. Quote unquote becomes, meaning before also they were Brahman. But now they know, I am Brahman. Aham brahmasmi iti, they know. And so when you know this, something happens. And what is that happens? Samsara goes away. Sorrow goes away. Anartha vratan, Pugan, Samohan, all the big collection of woes, grudges, fears, sorrows, insecurities, everything that you thought was discrete goes away in one package. Yeah, it's like bulk mailing. Yeah. Yes, because if you have 300 pieces of mail, you go to the post office and you apply for bulk mailing status. And then it all goes out at the same time. Yeah, you don't have to mail it one by one. Like notices and everything, you have to bulk mail it. And you allow that to be taken away. This is what it is. Very beautiful. This is the prayojana. The prayojana is that in discovering myself, through giving up all the finite pursuits, when I discover the truth of myself, what happens is that there is no more fear and sorrow. That is what is there, the gain. The gain is that in the first instance, I am kept a wanting person. It's the wanting person. The prayojana here is for the wanting person to keep on wanting. And in the second instance, the wanting person subsides. There is no more need to biff anymore. The last biff gone, the wanting person has subsided in the wake of understanding that all I seek is right centered on myself alone. There is no more seeking. The wanting person is resolved, whereas in the first instance the wants are resolved discreetly, individually and asakrit again and again. Here what? Sakrit, one time, in one go, everything is resolved. The wanting person is resolved, so the wanting person does not have to keep being resuscitated so that every want has to be, fulfilled. Every want doesn't have to be fulfilled. It's a dangerous way to go about it. There is this Vasana Kshaya theory that every want has to be fulfilled. Until then you are a helpless prisoner of all wants. Rubbish. Every want cannot be fulfilled. That's why the metaphor of shaving the head. Every want cannot be fulfilled. More importantly, every want need not be fulfilled. And I will go so far as to say every want should not be fulfilled. Because I am talking to sannyasis, I can do that. So, this is what it is. Every want should not be fulfilled. Because the more you give it indhanam. What is indhanam? Fuel. Give it more fuel, it rages. Yeah. The raging fires of samsara, when I carry on the head and then I dedicate it to the teacher, that means there is no more samsara for me. That is the seriousness with which this Upanishad has to be studied. So that is something to be cultivated. Usually what happens when the people go to the study, so lukewarm mumukshutva, it's not a raging fire. It's a little thought, flicker, off. Off why? A wave of samsara came and little mumukshutva. The winds of samsara are blowing it away. Durvara samsara davagni taptam dodhuyamanam duradrishtavatai bhitam prapannam paripahi mrityoho. This is the lament of the student in the Viveka Chudamani. I am being shaken about by the hot winds of samsara. And so the mumukshutvam comes and goes, comes and goes, comes and goes. Study of this Upanishad fixes that to be a steady flame, nay, a raging conflagration that is not going to look for any excuses to stop anymore. This is what it is. And so, this is a special study of this particular Upanishad. And what is the special study of this particular Upanishad? Special study means we study along with an ancient commentary called Bhashya. The Bhashya is written in modern English. Right?
No.
No. No. It is written in Sanskrit. Yeah. Because that is what people were using as a language to understand the Upanishad in those days. And we are studying the Bhashya of the comet Adi Shankaracharya, a brilliant mind that streaked through the ancient skies. Short, but amazing. And a Bhashya is called such because it has a certain definition, it has some things to do that it does. First is it explains each and every word in the text. And we will see how it does that very nicely. It will repeat the word. Om Brahma Devanam Prathamas Sambhabhuva. And it will start with Om. Om Mangala Suchaka Vakyah, or Mangala Suchakam, it will say Brahma, it will say, all this it will say. It will repeat the word of the original text. And then what it will do, It will explain that word, and then even more ingenious, it will explain itself. That is the characteristic of the Bhashya. It will explain itself. And then the way it does that is, we get some wonderful things out of the Bhashya study. This is not for the faint-hearted. It needs perseverance and some Sanskrit knowledge. And even if you don't have it, you can still appreciate how deep it is, because we do translate it. So it's not that you won't be getting it if you don't know Sanskrit. But if you know some Sanskrit, you will be able to appreciate the nuances a little more. That's all. That's what it is. But mind you, we are not studying the Bhashya to become proficient in Sanskrit. If that happens, it is called Avantara Phalam. What is Avantara Phalam? An accidental extra fruit. An accidental development is that through the study of Bhashya, Sanskrit improved. Wonderful. But let it be accidental, because what is the pursuit right now? What did you say? Self-knowledge. The Sanskrit Ichha was shaved off during the break. Better be. Yes. This is not to get a smattering of Sanskrit that I am studying Bhashya, although that is frequently done. That is why this caveat right at the beginning. And there are some people who will teach Bhashya looking, splicing every word. Potential, plural, third person. You can do that. And there is a certain beauty of that, about that. I don't deny that. But that's not going to be our purport here. We appreciate the Sanskrit in order to gain the self-knowledge and in order to stabilize our understanding, to gain nishtha in the self-knowledge. Nishtha is nitaram sthitihi, to be there always. Unshakable knowledge is gained through the Bhashya study, because there is a certain logic, there is a certain deep understanding that takes place. There is an appreciation of knowing the parampara. And nowhere else is it most important to study the Bhashya as in this Upanishad, which extols the Guru Parampara, which extols the teacher teaching lineage. So here we are extolling the lineage ourselves by going back to the source here, the earliest source that we have on how this all was interpreted. Why Brahma doesn't mean Brahman? Why Brahma means only this? Why Vidya in some place means knowledge, and why Vidya in other places means karma? Why Vidya in third places means, what is that called? Upasana. All this has to be understood. The context matters. And then when you study it in this particular way, something changes inside oneself, because it deepens the reverence for the study, it deepens the pursuit, it changes the flickering mumukshutvam into jignasutvam. The mumukshu, who is the seeker of becoming non-wanting, a person who wants to become non-wanting, becomes a jignasu, a pursuer of knowledge. So there is something essentially and inherently sacred about this deep study. And if you find yourself, either by design or accidentally, today in the classroom, that means, you are very blessed in a certain way, because the Bhashya study is a great blessing to have. It's only a few people that can enjoy it and that can really, really appreciate it. So this is how we look, see, this is the whole integrity of the Veda, which is something beautiful here, that is talked about. What is the integrity of the Veda? Because even though we divide it into two camps, oppositional camps, first portion, last portion, still there it is one whole, correct? Yeah. Why? Because being in the first portion, stuck for many lifetimes, is what is the raw material to jumpstart into the second portion. You have to reboot yourself. That's what it is. What it takes is a rebooting, a complete, total rebooting of the person. What we had to do with live stream, we have to really be live. And then only the study blesses. So, this is what the whole thing is. And the final end in samsara is heaven going, Brahmaloka going. Correct? What is Brahmaloka? A loka run by Brahmaji. Who is Brahmaji? Not local. Yeah. Brahmaji is Bhagavan with the function and the form of creating. So creator, Ishvara in the form of the creator of what? Samsara is called Brahmaji, which is the reason why Brahmaji is not worshipped anywhere. There is one temple in Rajasthan for Brahmaji, that's it. And then in Thailand, every street corner has Brahmaji to save them from accidents. But not in India, you will not find temples for Brahmaji. Even the person stuck in the first portion of the Veda knows, I want out of this samsara. So they are not going to, what's the word for it? Worship Lord Brahma. But that is the end for the samsaris. Brahmaji is the end. Why? Because everybody's dream is to go to Brahmaloka. Confused often with the word moksha. Moksha means freedom from being wanting. But here it's confused with going to a place, apraptasya praptihi, going to a place and sitting there and gawking at Brahmaji. Oh, this is how you look. Oh, so many heads. Oh, where is Saraswati? Consort of Brahmaji. She's not seen here. Yeah. This is the what do you do there? Oh, because when you go to Brahmaloka, there is no core issues, there are no core issues, you don't have an unconscious, you can sit there on cloud 9 and study what? The first Upanishad that Brahmaji taught. Which is that? Mundaka Upanishad. This is what? So you can either do it there or
Right here.
Atraiva. Right here. Your choice. Yeah. And it's a choiceless choice. Having said it's your choice, it's a choiceless choice, because to go there and do it, no, I think I'll wait and do it there. You better get ready to change your life completely, because you'll have to be praying for 18 hours a day, including yajna, upasana, everything. And even then it's very iffy, because it's like yesterday I was telling in the class, you like buying a plot, here to go there and to make sure that there is mangoes in my backyard in Brahmaloka. So how do you know that this is a sure way to go? You don't know. So therefore I would say it's a choiceless choice, so better do it right here, because there Brahmaji is talking, correct? In Brahmaloka. Here who is talking? Brahmaji is talking. It's the same knowledge. And so this Upanishad, showing the integrity of the Veda, takes the people along. And Adi Shankara says, Shrotra Buddhi Prarochanaya, in order to stimulate the interest. Oh, there also Brahmaji, here also Brahmaji. So like the Upanishad is like the Pied Piper. Yeah, the Pied Piper of Vedanta is bringing everybody like rats. All the Mushika minds are just coming along, hearing the music of the Upanishad. Beautiful. Why? Because I'm getting it right here. That same knowledge, I don't have to do anything except to just sit and listen. This is not about doing, this is about being. And so saying, I'm getting it right here. And so this is what the whole, blessing of this Bhashya study is that Adi Shankara, the Upanishad was a Pied Piper. Adi Shankara created new music by explaining the notes of the Upanishad. Yeah, he created new appreciation by explaining each and every note of the Upanishad, by explaining the melody, by understanding it so you can go deeper and let the melody operate upon you. That's what it is. And there is a certain etherization that needs to happen. You know, the ahankara is anesthetized, put out, literally. That's why we leave the chappals at the door. You put out. Chappals stand for ahankara because in the ancient time only kings would wear chappals. Rich people. And so the chappals, the footwear is left, kept out so that I don't bring the ahankara into the classroom. And so I listen and I allow myself to be transformed. At least during the period of the class, I allow the judgments and fears to be suspended. And the doubts also to be suspended. Oh, doubts also I should suspend. Yeah, don't worry because there is enough doubts being brought about by the Upanishad herself. Your own doubts are going to be presented in the Bhashya. That is the final blessing of the Bhashya study, is that the knowledge becomes doubt-free, error-free, vagueness-free. It's very beautiful. So with these words, let's embark on the Shanti Mantra of this Upanishad, which we have studied in the 1 month course, in 2 1-month courses now. But we will chant it first. Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shruniyama Devaah.
Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shruniyama Devaah.
Bhadram Pashyema
Bhadram Pashyema
Akshabhiryajatraah
Akshabhiryajatraah
Sthirairangai
Sthirairangai
Tushtuvagam Sastanubhih
Tushuvagam Sastanobhih
Vyashema
Vyashema
Devahitam Yadayuh
Devahitam Yadayuh
Swasti na Indra
Swasti na Indro
Vriddhashravah
Vriddhashravah
Swasti nः Pusha
Swasti nः Pusha
Vishvavedaः
Vishvavedaः
Swasti nastarkshyo
Swasti nastarkshyo
Arishtanemihi
Arishtanemihi
Swasti no Brihaspatirdadhatu
Swasti no Brihaspatirdadhatu
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This Upanishad belongs to the Atharva Veda, and in particular the Shaunakiya Shakha. Shakha means branch. Shaunakiya means belonging to Shaunaka. Who is Shaunaka? The protagonist of this Upanishad. The student in this Upanishad who later on becomes a teacher and a sage is called Shaunaka. Shaunakiya Shakha of the Atharva Veda. As you know, the Vedas are divided into 4. They are 4 in number. And each one has Upanishads at the end. Sometimes they also come in the middle, like the Isha Upanishad in the Shukla Yajurveda. The Isha Upanishad comes in the middle, so don't think it will be always at the end. Mostly it's at the end. That's why it's called Vedanta. Another name for Upanishad is Vedanta. Vedanam Antaha, that which comes at the end. And I already told you why it comes at the end, because it would be missed in the beginning. What a waste, what a shame, because nobody is there to appreciate it. It's only the tired, bored, sad, sick jiva who can appreciate this. These are the qualifications in a way, that I have to be sick of samsara. Yeah. I have to have allergy for samsara. If I say, if I'm anywhere near samsara, I have to break out into hives, then only I can migrate into the other side. So, That is why it's called Vedanta, not Vedanam Dantah. Somebody translated it like that. Ayyo. This was in Barcelona in the Parliament of World Religions. I'm going to my talk. On the way, I just, I heard some Sanskrit and I said, oh, I was not even planning to be there. So I just slowed down. The door was open. It was a workshop going on, round table discussion. And one person who was a scholar, a Swami, who said he's a scholar, said, I'm going to now break down the word Vedanta, Vedanam Dantah, the teeth of the Vedas, where you take a bite out of samsara. And I just walked away. I just walked on. Yes. Eloquent as it sounds, misleading it definitely is. Not Vedanam Dantah, Vedanam Antaha. Antaha means end. Adi means beginning. Yeah. Vedanam Adihi is what? The first portion. Vedanam Antaha. Vedantaha. You can also say Vedadi and call it the first portion. So Vedanta, it's also called Upanishad. Shadlr is the root word. Shadlr. And then what happens? Many things happen. And then it becomes, Sadi, Sadi just for Uchcharanartham. Ikstipa Nirdesha, never mind. So, it's a particular Adesha for ease of pronunciation, because the Dhatu Patha, the root verbs were all recited. Sadi, Visharane, Sadi, Avasadane. Sadi means Sad, to destroy. And that Sad becomes Shad later on. And so to destroy, what does it destroy? In one word? Samsara. If it destroys samsara, will it come back? No. The Bhashya, the introductory Bhashya to the Kathopanishad assures us that it will not come back. Why? Shithili karoti, it is, unmulayati, Adi Shankara says. Uproots samsara. Uproots all the vrittis, the mental weeds, which are samsaric weeds, which are there, keeping on coming up. Even though you have put the weed killer of one, particular Upanishad, it comes up. No, it will not come up. So the Upanishad is the weed killer of samsara. Samsaric tendencies, which are where? Here. The vrittis, the vrittayaha are all gone. Avasadayati, unmulayati, shithili karoti. And by how? Brahma gamayati. By taking you to yourself, back to yourself, to Brahman, to the source, which is free of all anartha vratan. Anartha vrataha. What are these vratas? Vratas means undesirables. All kinds of longings which are undesirable, all kinds of limitations which are undesirable. It gives moksha from all of them by showing them to not really be existent. Yeah, because if they are real, they cannot be removed. If they are unreal, they cannot, again they cannot be removed. You need not remove them if they are not there. So this as though existence of samsara, it calls into question. It calls out the bluff of this as though existence. And by that cognition, it disappears that. Makes it go away. This is what is the meaning of the word shad. And upani or prefixes. Upa, samipe, it does that by bringing you near. Near what? Near means it's a relative word. In relation to, my body, the camera is near. In relation to camera, the room is near. In relation to this whole neighborhood, this house is near. In relation to Eugene, this neighborhood is near. Like this you can go on up to Milky Way. Near here means that which is dear. Near is equal to dear. Nearest, dearest. What is nearest? Aham. Dearest? Aham. So, by bringing me back to myself, by showing what is near, The truth of that which is the nearest to me, dearest to me. It expunges samsara out of existence. Really? Nischayena, definitely. Ni stands for definitely. Nischayena, definitely. Meaning without a doubt. It dismisses samsara. And then, so this is the Atharva Veda. And every Veda has a Shanti mantra. And what we just chanted is the Shanti mantra of the Atharva Veda. What is the Shanti mantra of the Rig Veda? Vang me manasi pratisthita. There is another Shanti mantra. Yeah. And then there is the Shanti mantra of the Shukla Yajurveda. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam. Oh, but that's the closing mantra. Never mind, it's still Shanti mantra. It's chanted at the beginning also. Shanti mantra of Krishna Yajurveda? Sahana Vavatu. Shanti mantra of Samaveda? Apyagantu mamangani vak pranaschakshushrotramatho balam indriyani cha sarvani. See, every mantra, every Veda has its own Shanti mantra. Shanti mantra of Atharva Veda? Om Bhadram Karnebhihi, etc., etc. And the purpose of the Shanti mantra is to hone the mind, to focus, because it's a prayer. And wherever there are obstacles, we need prayer. And there is no place where there are more obstacles than Vedanta. It's a fact. It's a fact. And so many times. Now I'm sure I'll get some emails from people saying, oh, Bhashya class was today, I somehow forgot. Yeah. How did they forget? How did somebody forget? Karma. That is what it is. Oh, karma makes me forget. It's not bad memory. Yes. Bad memory, yes. You can do something about it. But why did you forget this right now, right here? There is the hand of karma also there, correct? Karma is there. Oh, I was planning to attend ... Mm-hmm. But what happened? So many things you can fill in the blanks. Suddenly something came up. Accidentally. Accidentally? No. There is a hand of the karmic design. There is hand of Deva. There is hand of Yajatra. There is hand of Vriddhashrava. There is hands. There is many invisible hands. I attended, but I didn't follow anything. One more hand. Correct? Yeah. I attended, but I was not interested. Another hand. I am interested. I want to attend. In fact, I attended, but the mind keeps going. Another obstacle. Vignas being too many. And the vignas, as we have seen, can be categorized into 3. You know, Daivi. Daivi means what? Yeah, over which you have no control. Daivi. And what else? Yeah. Daivam, Bhautikam, and centered on oneself. Adi-Daivikam, Adi-Bhautikam, Adhyatmam. Adhyatmikam means centered on oneself, meaning internal vignas, internal obstacles. And those are too many to count, but I don't even think I need to give an example. You know all what that is. And then surrounding obstacles. What are the surrounding obstacles? Noises and all that. various noises. Real, not perceived here. Mithya noises, but not mithya within mithya, okay? And then Daivam means, disasters over which you have no control. Really speaking, the only thing you can control is the ones which are internal. And when they are put to rest, everything is okay, really. And you have the strength to overcome the other two obstacles. Not that they are non-existent, they are there. But you can be objective about them, you can do something about them. It's not that, they disappear. They are no longer something to contend with. You can be doing that. So therefore the Shanti Mantra requires a Shraddha to say and an outlook. And especially in this age of internet, outernet, we have to, understand this, that each time the classroom shuts down, there is also the hand of karmic design, correct? Yeah. And so all this we pray to be protected from all sides. And so here this is a beautiful Shanti Mantra. It is tailor-made for the Mumukshu. Tailor-made. Bhadra means auspicious. Bhadram Shrinuyama. Shrinuyama, may we be in the position of listening. It's a collective prayer where all the students are chanting together. Teacher is also chanting along with the students. So how do we listen for auspicious things? With what do we listen? Ayyo Deva. Abba, thank God, ears, yes. And the word for ears in this is Karnebhihi. There is no such word. It's a Vedic formation. We should say Karnabhyam if you're talking of 2 ears, or if you're talking of many collective pairs of ears, Karnaihi. But we are not going to correct the Veda, we are only going to correct our understanding. Bhadram Shrinuyama. May we listen only for the auspicious. May we listen only to the auspicious. With what? With our ears, of course. So this is a blessing for the ears, an intentionality that is attributed to the ears, that you who like to eavesdrop, you are only going to eavesdrop on Upanishad classes henceforth. You who like to listen to all kinds of things, you for whom the whole world of sounds is opened up. Now it's time to listen to the auspicious silence. Because the ears are the ones who discern sound, but by that same token the ears are the one who discern the absence of noise as well is discerned by the ears. You don't hear the silence, you hear the absence of noise, correct? And the noisiest thing is samsara. It's like a fish market. Yeah, in Thailand, you go to Bangkok, there's a floating market. You should see that. Oh my God. It's visually delightful and ear-wise cacophonic, really. You are in a boat and so are all the sellers in the boats. And then everybody is there. Flowers, boat full of flowers, full of pumpkins, full of watermelons, full of all kinds of vegetables, fruits, any household things. They're all there and you just paddle and then you paddle away when you don't want them. And why do they shout? Because they want to lower the price to reel you back in. That is the noise of samsara, where you are constantly reeled back in. Abhadram, not auspicious. Ayyo Rama, not auspicious at all. There is nothing musical about it. There is no harmony in samsara. Samsara is a series of endless dissonance, life after life after life. And to this dissonance, oh Deva, I have been listening. Free me from this by converting the mechanisms of hearing, by blessing them to weed out the inauspicious noises and messages that tell me that I am not enough, noises that put me in a place of being incomplete, noises that affirm the falsehood of my limitations, noises that keep on telling me that I am a wanting person, noises that spread the falsehood of samsara and make it out to be true, cacophonies of conflict, cacophonies of kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, the 6 negative states of being, starting with desire, which turns into anger when it is thwarted, and that anger morphs into pride, jealousy, and what else? Avarice, greed, hoarding. These are all noises. These are the cacophonies from which I need to be protected, O Lord. All the auspicious devatas, including the adhishthana devata of the ears, the ones who make the ears hear, that interim devatas, who is, and ultimately the one who is in charge, the eye of the eye, the ear of the ear. Help me to tune out the noises of samsara by just touching the ears with your intention. Bhadram. That's what it is. May the samsara, at least the audio visual highlights of samsara, may they just be muted, because it's only when the samsara sounds are muted that the ears can tune themselves to hearing the finer notes of self-knowledge. The self-knowledge is on a different frequency. Yes? You have to be like a spiritual bat that picks up, only the bat can pick up the sonic waves. And even though it comes dangerously close to you, it will never crash, because it knows, it can hear better than you. It senses these sonic waves, and it moves. Even though its eyesight is not good, it knows how to move around. So, oh Devas, give me that fine tuning. Let these karnas, karna and karana, both these instruments of hearing, be able to be fine tuned to listening, wanting, delighting in the sounds of Tattvamasi, in that resonance rather than the dissonance of the Mahavakyas. Because I have to be fine tuned to understand this. The hearing has to be fine tuned. I mean, even on the very basic level, if you look at the example of some teenager who's only been listening to heavy metal, it's the name of the music, sounds exactly like what it sounds like, heavy and metal, metallic. So all this heavy metal, and then you play them some raga, M.S. Subbalakshmi, or whatever you play them, or even forget, South Indian ragas, you just play them something, Mozart, they will not be able to appreciate it. First, they will not be here, because that deafening crescendo of samsara has tuned out, has created, significant hearing loss. Whereby what? Lot of things are missed. So the ears have to be rebooted, retuned, attuned to the songs, to the melody of moksha, to the melody of non-wantingness, to the melody of I am enough. I am enough if I just am. I am enough if I don't do anything anymore. I am okay. I'm whole, I'm complete. These are the melodies. Only the Bhadram, that is the sound of Bhadrata, and only the tuned ear, the attuned ear can hear. So please tune my ear to listen to these auspicious sounds of the Mahavakyas, Tattvamasi. Ultimately, that is the prayer. Relatively, on the level of dharma, I have to eschew all wrong things I'm hearing. So I have to ask for auspiciousness, to bless my ears to be blessed so that I hear only dharmic things. So that also, that is at a very basic level, that is also what is being asked for. But really speaking, this is the meaning. Let me have only Bhadrata. Same thing. Audio, visual, they go together. Bhadram pashyema akshabhihi yajatra yajanatrayate yajatraha. Yajanam means worship, trayate protects, that which protect, those who protect when they are invoked. It's name for Bhagavan, the Adhisthana Devata of the eyes. Please help me see only that which is auspicious. Just like the ears, the eyes have to be attuned to that which is auspicious. Otherwise, the eyes and the ears, if they get harnessed to a fault-finding mind, it's a very sad pair of horse and cart that we have. That plods along finding fault. This is not okay, this is not okay, I am not happy, I am not happy. You see the world with eyes of discontentment. That is samsara. Samsara is not there. Samsara is in the eyes, in the ears. So this is to wash off the eyes and ears of samsaric tendencies. Eye wash, not brainwash. Eye wash. So that the clarity, because everything is seen visually, even though, it's customary to say, I see it. Meaning what? I get it, I understand it. So the visual has a very powerful metaphor here. So the eye wash is so that I can be blessed with the clarity of this vision. May the vision, preside in me as me. And then a little blessing for the body. May we live long. Sthirai, sthirai angaihi. How? Not, malingering in bed. May we live long. May we devote our entire lives with strong limbs. Sthiraihi angaihi. Unshaking limbs. Instrumental. With healthy limbs, with healthy body parts. Sushtu, very well. Sushtuvam. Saha tanubhihi, along with our bodies which are well maintained. Vyashema, may we sing your glories. Yadayuhu, Devahitam, may we worship. Yadayuhu, may we worship you. O Bhagavan, may we worship you. And the best form of worship is self-knowledge. Ramana Maharshi said that. Somebody asked him, what is the best form of worship? He says, the study of the Upanishad is the highest form of worship. So may we have this kind of a worship lifelong. May we continue to worship class after class after class after class after class. May we continue to worship bhashya after bhashya after bhashya. And when we worship in this way, what happens? Samsara recedes, samsara goes away, nishtha comes. And then this is how to worship. And when we worship like this, there is a transformation that takes place. Because for all other worship, you have to wait for the phalam to come, correct? Yeah. Because it can come in this life. Worship and charity. Ishtakarma and Purta karma. Ishta Purti. And this Ishta karma means religious rituals, Purta karma, charity, ityadi. They will also give fruit. When? Whenever. It's based on the karmic hand. I told you the hand of the invisible karmic design. It's the law. It can come right now, but it cannot come when you want it. If you want it right now, it's definitely not going to come right now, but it can. Usually it is saved in abeyance for a later period when you are not looking. It comes. Punya comes. Correct? That is the karma phala. But what is the Shravana phala? And what is the phala of this kind of worship? What is this worship? Siraihi angaihi stushtuvam sastanubhihi yashema devahitam yadayuhu. Until our whole lives be spent in this form of highest form of worship, which is the pursuit of self-knowledge. That also should give punya, correct? Yes, it gives punya. Vedanta Shravana does give punya. Lots of it. But we are not interested in punya. We are interested in what?
Moksha.
Moksha we are interested in. And so when does the moksha come? Next life?
No.
After that? No. That is what is called Jivan Mukti right now. As you see Tattvamasi, you are free. Correct? You are not free in the afterlife. You are not free in the next life. You are free. Jivan neva muktaha. Jivan muktaha. Jivat, while living, one is free. So there is an immediacy of the fruit of this worship, which is very elegant compared to the other kind of worship, which is in the first portion of the Veda, which is held in abeyance. The fruits are held in abeyance. There is little immediacy, you feel good, that's all. You feel at peace. But here, you know that there is nothing more to desire, which is a very big thing. So may our whole life be in firmly and totally, without any regression, be spent in the second portion of the Veda. This is the prayer. Because there is no going back. Oh, let me just have a whiff of samsara. No. And once you are attuned to this vidya, you need a mask if you want to go back. Yeah, because you will not be able to stand the fumes of samsara. And so, may we worship you like this. This means what? May I, for my own sake, always spend my time in this part of the Veda alone. And may Indra give me blessings. Swastihi astu. By whom? By Indra, Vriddhashrava, whose fame is heard all over the place, of growing fame. We had another Shrava, where? Another name, Shrava, ending with Shrava. Where? Kutra. Yatra, kutra, tatra. Huh? Ushanhavai vajashravaha sarvavedhasam dadhau. Kutra. Kathopanishad, beginning. Who is Vajashrava? Vajashrava. Who is Vajashrava? Daddy of Nachiketa. Nachiketa's father. Vajashrava, the one who was known all over the world, Shrava, whose name was heard, because he was a great giver of grains. Annadanam he did. Vriddhashrava. You see, this is how you learn Sanskrit. Yeah. Vriddhashrava. The one of growing fame. That was Nachiketa's father. Here this is the daddy of heaven, Indra. Indra is in charge of Indriyas. Indrena Dattam Indriyam. Because it says that he is the Adhisthana Devata of all the sense organs. Indra. So Swastihi Astu, may there be Swasti or well-being for us from Indra. And then few other Pushnati iti Pusha, Pushan, all these certain other deities are invoked. I don't want to rush through that. So because this is not about hurrying to get nowhere. And so there is no going, there is no coming. So we are going to take our time whenever we want. So this we continued when next Saturday, same time, bright and early. So, but what we will do before we do this is read the first mantra. So we feel we have started it, and we'll go back again. Om Brahmadevanam Prathamasambhabhuva Vishvasya Karta Bhuvanasya Gopta Sabrahma Vidyam Sarva Vidya Pratishtham Atharvaya Jyeshta Putraya Praha. And then we'll study one line of Bhashya also. We'll just read. Om Brahma Devanam Iti Ityadi Atharvana Upanishad Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Yeah. So this week what all classes are there?
This coming week.
Yes. Tuesday 6 to 7 Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Wednesday 6 to 7 Kathopanishad. Wednesday there are two other classes, one chanting class and then one intermediate Sanskrit class. And then Saturday same time this detailed Mundaka with Bhashya. Okay? Any questions? Yeah, nice to see you, Gopa. Yes, he will be okay. He's better. Any questions here? Tuesday, not Wednesday. Yeah, unless you're not unable to make it. Tuesday we have class. Oh.